Did you have Reebok designing one of the most fun daily trainers of 2024 on your bingo card? Meet the Reebok Floatzig 1. What's up everybody, welcome back to Rad Dad Bod TV. I'm Eric McIntyre, aka Rad Dad Bod, and today we are reviewing the Reebok Floatzig 1. Before I get to disclosures and specs, if you would go ahead and hit that like button as well as that subscribe button, because we're going to be doing a ton of shoe reviews over the next few months, and we've got some exciting models that I want to make sure that you guys are aware of. As far as disclosures go, I did get this shoe for free while I was attending the running event last November. However, neither Reebok nor anyone else is going to see this video beforehand and has any input on anything I say. The opinions are exclusively my own. Now let's dive into the specs. The Reebok Floatzig 1 is a daily trainer. It has a 31mm heel stack and a 25mm forefoot, putting it at a 6mm heel to toe drop. For those wondering, this is more of a classic daily trainer as it falls right into that kind of standard cushioning height, which is kind of rare these days. The midsole is constructed from Floatride Energy, which is a beaded TPE foam, which is going to be very, very similar both in feel and look to the Power Run Plus that you'll find in the Saucony Triumph 21 and Saucony Ride 17. Now, early thousands basketball fans are going to recognize the zigzag pattern. You might have seen it on the John Wall 1 or that Zig Tech. So the zigzag pattern is a callback, and it's being implemented into all of Reebok's running shoes in 2024. The geometry of the midsole is designed in a way to provide a lot of comfort and also help propel you forward and give that great energy return. As far as the outsole goes, this is a carbon rubber in a banded geometry, which is going to give some really, really great traction as well as some flexibility in the outsole. And the upper is an engineered mesh with a fully gusseted tongue, some reinforced midsole sections, as well as some strategically placed cushioning in the heel and around the ankle there for added comfort. The tongue itself also is what I would say maybe a medium cushion tongue, or maybe even on the lower end of cushion, but you got this nice big kind of tongue sticking out here in kind of that classic almost 90s vibe fashion. As far as the overall fit, I found that the shoe fits true to size lengthwise, but it is a little bit roomy, so I don't think I would call it a full-on wide-fitting shoe, but for those who like a little bit more space for their foot to be able to sit in the shoe, this will be a potential really good option for you. Lastly, I don't remember how much this is going to retail for, and I do believe that it releases in April, but Reebok is making a comeback in 2024 to running, and they've actually dubbed 2024 their year of run, so they're pretty excited, and so am I to see what else they come out with. All right, now let's talk about the good. Reebok claims that they want to bring the fun back to running, and I don't know if there's a better word to describe this shoe. You can see that these shoes are pretty dirty because they've been really well loved. I've taken them on road trips, I have taken them to concerts, I have run over 50 miles in them, but I love the look of them right off the bat. They're super comfortable. I love that TPE beaded foam. It's just so nice and soft. And so I've been wearing these both running and casually. I'm a sucker for kind of some 90s design. I love the colors there on the paneling. I just think overall it's just a really cool looking shoe. Now from a run perspective, what makes it fun, I would say, is primarily the combination of that midsole as well as the traction. Beaded TPE foams tend to have a little bit more softness, a little bit more return than kind of your standard EVA foams. And so they kind of strike that balance between almost like the feel of a max cushion shoe, but thrown into a standard daily trainer. The difference with max cushion shoes though is sometimes it's hard to kind of pick up the pace in them, and I would say that I almost thought that this was a PIBA foam because it was really hard to just kind of sit into easy paces when wearing the shoe. That banded carbon rubber was really, really nice. I ran in snow in these, I ran on wet roads, some slick kind of icy conditions, and while I didn't take them out on trail or anything, I just thought that the traction held up really, really well, and as I look at it again, there's very, very little wearing on it through 50 miles. I think for a daily trainer, there's some decent pace versatility in this shoe. You can take it for some quick pickups. You could probably do a shorter tempo run. I don't necessarily think that I would do a longer run in this shoe, but those with maybe stronger feet or better durability than I might be able to endure that. All in all, just really, really liked the shoe, and I'm excited to continue to get miles in it and wear it casually because I just think it looks really, really good. Now, as far as the bad, there's not a ton I would say, but there are a couple of things that I do want to point out. When I was talking about the fit, I mentioned that it does fit a little bit roomy, and I found that especially if you don't lace up all the way and cinch down pretty good, there is a lot of extra room in the shoe overall. So there were certain times where I felt like my foot was sliding a little bit in the shoe. I didn't try a heel lock, and in hindsight, that might have helped a little bit, but again, they fit true to size, but they've just got a little bit extra room. So if you are someone who likes a slightly wider, these will probably be perfect for you. As someone who used to run in some stability shoes and has some slide over pronation in my right foot, I'm always conscious of this overall stability of a shoe. And one thing I found is that the medial stability of the shoe is a little bit lacking. Now, I don't necessarily think it should be docked for that overall because it's not made to be a motion control shoe, but when compared against other daily trainers, I would just say other daily trainers tend to be a little bit more stable. The midsole kind of kicks out a little bit here in the back, and a lot of the times with those extended midsole foams, it actually adds a little bit of additional stability. But upon first run, I actually thought these might be an 8mm heel to toe drop as opposed to the 6, because I did feel like the extended midsole there made a slightly clunky transition from heel to toe, or at least more so than I would have expected for a 6mm heel to toe drop, which is typically my sweet spot. I do think that contributed to what I felt like was a lack of medial stability when compared to some other daily trainers, but overall, I really do like the shoe and I've used it a lot, and so all of those negatives are just kind of different things that you can use to compare against other daily trainers. I don't think that they should disqualify the shoe by any means. Now, as far as who should use the shoe or what should you use it for, I mean, it's a daily trainer with a standard level of cushioning, so really like easy runs, steady runs is probably going to be the extent of where you use this shoe pace-wise. If you like to do strides at the end of easy runs like myself, then these are going to hold up just fine during those strides as well. And as I said, if you are someone who has great durability, really, really strong feet, you may take this on kind of an easier long run. It certainly is comfortable enough to do so. I prefer maybe a little bit more cushion though when I'm doing those longer runs. Now, from a comparison standpoint, I find that this shoe is very, very similar to the Saucony Ride 17, which I actually don't have up here because I ran in it this morning and they are wet from the rain. I actually think the Hoka Mach 5 could be a decent comparison to these as well, though, just in how a lot of people will use the Mach 5 actually as a daily trainer rather than kind of a speed day shoe, where the Reebok Floatzig 1 could potentially go a little bit faster than a standard daily trainer with the feel of that foam. The Saucony Triumph 21 would be a really good shoe to potentially pair with the Reebok Floatzig 1, where the Triumph 21 would be kind of your longer run, more max cushion shoe, and the Floatzig 1 would be more of your daily trainer. And then comparing to the 1080V Fresh Foam X, the Fresh Foam X is going to be a lot softer and squishier than the Float Ride Energy Foam, but I find that the Float Ride Energy Foam is going to be a lot more supportive while not sacrificing on any comfort or softness. Overall, I just think that we're going to see some really, really strong contributions to the running game from Reebok in 2024. I'm excited to take a look at the other shoes. I'm not sure of any release dates. I'm not associated with the brand in any way. Just really, really liked these shoes as a daily trainer. The other thing I'll say is just the level of shoe that is coming to the market from a daily trainer perspective across the board has been kind of mind-blowing. I'm testing a few shoes right now, like the New Balance 1080V, the Saucony Ride 7. I just tested the Brooks Glycerin 21, and again, just every brand is bringing their A game in 2024, so I'm really excited to get more shoes in front of you guys and talk about the good and the bad. As always, I appreciate you staying to the end. If you're still here, please hit that like and subscribe button and come back for more reviews. There's going to be plenty to come in February and March of 2024. And I'll sign off just leaving you guys with a question, which is, in 2024, what is the daily trainer that you are most excited for? Let me know in the comments. We'll see you later.